What's going on, everybody? I figured I'd make a video well belated on the puppies I'm raising right now. They're 6 weeks old right now, and should have put up a video a long time ago, but I've been busy taking care of everybody and getting everything set up, so I figured I'd put a video out there on whelping boxes and what I use to keep them clean, what I use to clean them, and then show you a little video of the puppies. So first off, very important, make sure you have a box of powder-free nitrate gloves. Powder-free, if you want to. You don't actually have to have the powder-free, doesn't really make a difference. Cut it on light so you guys can see a little better. But yeah, this is my setup. I have two whelping boxes. I have the bigger one right here, which is 6 foot by 40 inches with 2 foot high walls. And if you see right here, this is a 2x4. That's a little ledge on top of it, so that when the puppies are younger, if they're in this side, when the mom goes to lay down, she doesn't lay on them. You guys might hear the puppies in the background. This is kind of an extra. You don't have to have this, but it does help, especially if you're doing it where the puppies don't exactly leave the whelping box for quite a long time till they get their shots, pretty much. Especially when you're trying to take them outside. You should never take dogs outside, puppy-wise, until they have had their first round of shots. And then this is kind of the standard whelping box for dogs that I'm raising. I'm doing Siberian Huskies, so you're talking about medium to large dogs. This is a 40 by 40 by 2 foot high wall whelping box. So this is where she gave birth to all 7 of the puppies. It's a little dirty right now, excuse me. I just got done kind of quick cleaning it. Not really going to go too crazy because they are going to the vet tomorrow to get their shots, and then they'll be inside and outside. So this is getting ready to be put up. They're about 2 weeks out from getting sold. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and put the straw back in. Just kind of gonna show you guys what I do, and if it helps anybody, awesome. And if anybody else has anything that comment about what I'm doing, hey, more than welcome to hear different thoughts from people. So kind of hard to do with one hand. Pretty much I just use hay from whatever kind of farmer's market you can find. Doesn't really matter if you do use hay or straw. Hay, in my opinion, doesn't really help them stay warm as much as straw does. But at the same time, they're both grass, so it really doesn't matter. But yeah, just kind of spread it around. Obviously, like I said, this is the smaller side. They tend to use the bathroom more on this side and then stay on this side. So for the bathroom side, you don't need as much straw. It's kind of just trying to get it around so that when they do use the bathroom, it all sticks together, so that when you clean it, it just kind of comes up like you're pulling up a piece of paper. And it's not too terribly difficult, but that's really all you do right there. And again, this is what I do. You can use towels and other different kinds of materials to help them stay warm or make them feel comfortable. But for me, having towels, once they start teething and chewing on stuff, you don't want them ripping the towels all up and then trying to chew them, and then you have problems with them trying to eat it, and then you're going to the vet and spending $2,000 or $3,000 per dog to try to get them to have surgery. And for dogs that young, it's really not healthy for them to have massive surgeries. So, you just kind of want to stay away from that. Again, this is just what I do. So if people have better times with towels, obviously I'm not against it. It's just not what I use. Because the way I have my dogs set up, I don't have them running around on like a tile floor, so they don't have exactly the biggest room. They're kind of in this for now until they get their shots. Then, like I said earlier, they'll be going inside and outside for the day, and then during the night, just when it starts to drop down temperature, they'll be inside. at least until they get older. Then they can start spending the night outside if they're still here. But again, my puppies are going to be for sale in about 2 weeks, and some of them are sold. So depending upon how many dogs are still left, we will then find out what's going on. Plus, depending upon the temperature. They're Huskies, so temperature doesn't really bother them too much. I'm having trouble getting around here. But, you know, again, that's personal preference for everybody. Some people think dogs should be inside. And, you know, not saying that's wrong, not saying that's right, but everybody's got their personal opinion, and this is just the way I do it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. For cleaning it, I use Just to Resolve Pet Expert. It's pretty much for stains and really for spot cleaning. But it works pretty damn good to clean up all their messes, especially after I use it to or use the straw to pick up the most of it. You can use the straw as like a scrubby too. It's another reason why I use it. But again, it's just because it's my personal preference. And then, yeah, so take you guys to go see the puppies, and then I'll show you guys what I use to feed them. So here are the puppies. Like I said, they're 6 weeks old right now. They're getting ready to get a bath because they're all a little stinky. And again, in my personal preference, doing certain things with puppies when they're younger helps them when they get sold, so their owners don't exactly have to get them adjusted to it. These dogs have had 3 baths right now, so they're on their 4th. Again, they're getting so many baths just because I have them inside, and you know, they won't be going outside until they get their shots. So they're constantly in the whelping box, and you know, if it goes a couple of days without being cleaned, the dogs don't get messy necessarily. Their pads do, their feet, but you know, I just like to give them baths so they're used to getting washed, so when they get sold, their owners don't have a problem with it later on down the line, and they're already used to it. Now, for anybody out there who doesn't really see why I put anything in the whelping box, just for your own reference, and I do know this from personal experience, if you don't put anything down in your whelping boxes while the dogs are starting to grow up and getting big like they are right now, they do shit and piss a lot. When you have 7 heads in something that small, again, we're talking about a 6-foot by 40-inch space and in a 40-inch space that are tied together, and that's where they're at 24 hours a day. That's where they eat, that's where they sleep, that's where they shit and do everything. So when you go even a day and you don't have some kind of bedding or material down, it's just very nasty. The dogs get very grimy. You know, their fur doesn't even feel like fur anymore. So it just helps keep it clean. And, you know, it's just lessens on the amount of times you have to spend cleaning them or wiping it out. If you were to do it that way, you'd probably have to wipe out the whelping box 1 to 2 times a day, where using straw, or again, not what I use, towels or something to that degree, you'd probably drop it down to changing the towels every day. And then the straw, you really can go pretty much as long as until it starts to stink. Or if you see like they're using one side of the whelping box, or if you have something set up like where I have, where there's different sections, they're using one side to go to the bathroom more than the other, you really can just change that side and leave the other side by itself until it starts to get that musky smell, and then you just want to go ahead and change the straw, clean it out, and then once you replace it, you won't have a smell again. And then, you know, generally want to get the dogs a bath just so you don't really have to worry about anything else. So, all right, yeah, just thought I'd make a little quick video. Again, I'll show you guys one more time the whelping box, and just real quick before I forget, because I did say I was going to do this, what I feed the puppies get fed 3 to 5 times a day between me and their mom. I bring the mother in now. She's outside again, and not with the puppies full time because she's starting to wean them off. So having her in here doesn't really help anything. It just makes more of a cluster. So I'm feeding the dogs right now Diamond. That's my personal choice for dog food. Diamond puppy, it's about $30 a bag, 40-pound bag, and I used one for the last 6 weeks. So in reference to how much you're going to be going through for 7 puppies and the mom, overfeeding to help the mom gain weight back and keep her stamina up, I've gone through 1 bag in 6 weeks. Now, I've also been using this right here called 4Health chicken and rice formula for puppies. It's, in my opinion, pretty good. It's my first time trying it. It's not something I was expecting to be using, but when I went to my local Tractor Supply, they did not have the Diamond puppy food, so I had to pick something. You know, can't have the dogs going hungry because the store doesn't have what I need. So yeah, and then all my dogs eat Diamond, various forms of it. Kind of just depends. Also, while it's in my mind and we're talking about food, just for anybody out there who doesn't know that much about puppies, and yes, I know the room's a little messy, forgive me, it's kind of just more focused on the puppies. When you get a puppy, the person that sells you the dog should give you a bag of dog food of what they've been feeding them and tell you what brand they're feeding. If they don't, it's not detrimental, it's not going to kill the puppy, it's not going to be a problem. The only thing is that you're just going to have, the puppy's going to have diarrhea, regardless of what you do. It doesn't matter. The puppies are always born with worms. They always have diarrhea when you change the food. And once they start getting accustomed to it, just like with the worms, once they get their first shot, they no longer have them. So, you know, if you ever get a dog from somebody and, you know, they have worms, it just means they haven't gotten their first shots. So, and once they have their first shots, generally speaking, you don't have any more problems. Yes, people say you need to take your dogs to the vets 30,000 times before they're a year old. I have 4 Huskies. All of them have been to the vet 1 time since I've got them. When they were babies till they were 1 year old, they went for their 1-year checkup. And, you know, again, you don't really even have to do that. I'm one of the people that I kind of prefer doing most stuff in-house. There are shots and stuff that I will be doing videos on that you can kind of skip the whole vet thing if you're somebody that doesn't have a lot of money and you want to try to figure out how to do it yourself. Giving your dog shots by yourself does not cause any problems for the dog. It does not hurt anything. It simply just kind of skips the vet process unless you absolutely need to go. Obviously, if your dog's sick or it needs vet attention, don't skip. Don't say, oh, it'll be okay, because that's the difference of living dog and not living dog. So, you know, on this channel, we're all about healthy dogs and everybody always happy. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. If anybody has any questions for anything, feel free to leave a comment on anything I post for any questions. I'll try to answer them all I can the best, and you guys will be getting future updates. Other than the shots, you'll see the puppies when they go outside, meet the parents, and all that good shenanigans. So, all right, guys, you all have a good day. Bye.